How about Oprah? I mean, Oprah, who's collecting reportedly $2.5 million. This is according to, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Times, which didn't lead with it. No. You would actually have to go over to the Fox website to see anybody leading with it. I think they got a kick out of it. Leading with it meaning just the article. The article itself, they said Comcast to spin off cable networks. And this comes as, what do you know, they reported Kamala Harris burned through $1.5 billion in 15 weeks. Aren't you glad she's not burning through your money right now? I mean, she still is, actually. She's got a little bit longer. But think about that. Crazy. And it turns out that burning through the money included burning through none other than money for her influencers. Look at that. Oprah Town Hall cost Harris' campaign far more than initially claimed. In fact, it actually cost somewhere in the vicinity, according to the New York Times, $2.5 million. Kamala Harris paid $2.5 million to have a YouTube interview with Oprah Winfrey, which honestly, guys, we just started it a year and a half ago, but I'm not running for president or anything. We do better in many of our shows than that thing did on Oprah Winfrey's channel. I mean, that was one giant waste of money. And then Oprah still won't admit to any of this. This is according to sources from the New York Times, okay? And then, the Washington Examiner went through all the FEC election records and found the 1 million. They're saying it's actually much worse. It's $2.5 million. Oprah's like, no, didn't take a thing.
Hey, Oprah, good morning. How are you, darling? You're looking very good. How do you think the election went?
Not talking about the election. Thank you very much.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Not true. Okay.
No, because it's 2.5.
Okay.
What do you think about all the celebrities with their mass exodus?
I'm not talking about
Do you think Prince Harry's gonna lose his visa now that Trump's president?
Anyway, that's TMZ having a little fun. $2.5 million. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something truly wrong with that. I mean, truly wrong with it. I can't express how wrong it is. Truly, I mean, as a journalist, you know what? You get a presidential candidate, that's a big deal, right? That's a big deal to get that interview. You don't have them pay to do the interview. I mean, that is like beyond the beyond. There was the incident with the reporter in Philadelphia for the Black-owned radio station. Remember, Joe Biden did an interview with her, and apparently they gave her some sample questions, which she then used, and then she went on CNN and volunteered. Yeah, they gave me the questions. First of all, no one gives you the questions, okay? That's like journalism 101. No one gives you the questions. I mean, it should never even be questioned that you're going to get paid by a presidential candidate and not disclose that. I mean, that is unbelievable. I'm just saying like that. So you wonder why people are like over it. You know what? We got advertisers on our show here on the Trish Regan show. And I always tell you, okay, you know what? And at some point we'll get to balance in nature. Believe me, at some point in this show, we'll get there and we may get to gold as well. But I tell you, okay, this is an advertiser. And you know what? We have people that even come on the show and they're part of groups that we had, for example, the guy who's the CEO of American Heart for Gold on, right, the other day. Very interesting conversation. I love those guys because guess what? They make all this possible. But it's not like we're hiding it. And then to think they would do this with a presidential candidate, I mean, it's just sort of mind-boggling. These people are not journalists. They're people masquerading as journalists. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm one either. I mean, I am, but I'm an opinionated journalist. And I think there's a distinction. I mean, I think everybody has an opinion, frankly. I don't really think you can be a journalist without having some kind of opinion. Right? That's part of what we're doing here, soul searching to figure out what we think on issues so that we can best communicate them to you. But we're going to tell you the truth here. I mean, this is just really despicable, disgusting. I mean, Kamala Harris herself was pretty gross in how they spent all this money. $1.5 billion, ladies and gentlemen, in 15 weeks' time. They spent $2.5 million on 3 digital agencies because they wanted online influencers. You know, I somehow got signed up with some digital agency, which I don't use. But I see some of the traffic that comes my way, and I can tell you they were paying for people to do commercial spots. And I was like, this is weird. And they were bad, right? Like they were badly done because they wanted you to say this and they wanted you to say that. And you had to make sure you had the tag for Kamala in the end. And I just got a kick out of it. I might have it somewhere in my files. I know I took photos because I thought this might be some interesting intel for everybody to understand. But the point being that this is what they were doing, okay? So it was bought and paid for, and everybody knows that these people are bought and paid for, and everybody's over it. And guess what? Somebody else can pay those big salaries. NBC shareholders don't want to anymore. So Mika and Joe, we wish you luck. Joy Reid, we wish you luck. I'll tell you, Rachel Maddow, you are a smart cookie for getting out when you did, you know? I like to think I'm a smart cookie too for getting out when I did. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff.